I got it.
I got it too.
Good. Excellent. We are ready.
We are.
Okay. So welcome to our weekly review.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Document.
Huh?
I should pull up our document that we use.
What? I don't know why you do that.
I don't know why either. It's just a thing.
Weird. Okay. Minor distractions. Okay. Yeah. I never uncross the things. I just really don't. So do you have any big themes this week, Colleen? Like, what are you aiming for with our weekly review? Well, I wonder where on earth my mouse cursor is and why it won't show it to me.
That's a big theme of mine. Understanding where your mouse is. That's
right.
Definitely,
that's important. Go ahead.
One of the things that I was coming to the conclusion of, that's a sentence, is I have a lot of things in my like rando non-project related tasks, my next actions list, that's planned project. Like if I were to search the tag, that's at least a dozen tasks which are planned project. And that's a dozen projects in theory. And I already have several on the go. So, and some of them have been there a heckin' long time. So I think one of my things I want to do is to go through anything that has the word plan in it, other than something that's in somebody maybe already, and go actually kind of like a coaching session I had recently where I did the take no prisoners. You have to do something. You can't remain. You have to plan it. You have to delete it, or you have to move it into the parking lot the someday maybe. This is my thought, because
take no prisoners. I love it. Yeah. I love it. I was just watching stuff from my task management course last night that I'm working on. And I was like, oh yeah, that thing. Because I was going on about needing to take out anything that's old. It can't stay there. Whether you delete it or not, it can't stay there in its current form.
Yes.
Because it's doing nothing for you if it's been there too long.
Something maybe is the exception, because the purpose of that is to sit there.
Yes.
And
yes.
if you feel better slightly about something.
This course does not
current stuff.
This course does not get into someday maybe because it's not a GTD specific course. Universe willing, someday one will exist. But in the absence of that, this one is mostly about selecting a task management app or paper system of some kind. So yeah, cool. Okay, so you got the take no prisoners theme.
Yes, I do.
I like it. I'm having, like, just because I like doing the total full disclosure sometimes. Sure. A personally rough week. You know this already because we talk every day, but nobody else knows that. And so, like, even though mostly everything in life is actually fine and great, it just has been difficult. And so, despite all of my loved ones saying, well, why don't you take this afternoon off? You don't need to do this stream. Take some mental health time. You and I have talked enough that you know that is not actually the better course to mental health, is skipping your weekly review.
Yes.
So I was like, trust me, I need to do it. I promise I'm not being a workaholic in this moment. Other moments.
You admit to it when it is true.
I can't claim that.
Right now,
I am not. This is for me. And I apologize for the background noise. My beloved nephew is playing outside and getting some outside and green time. Yay! So hashtag ADHD green space.
Yes.
Cool. Have fun with your pond maintenance. I'm doing a weekly review. Pond maintenance. Do you do that every like 5 years? Because I think that's about our schedule.
I will let you know when I ever acquire a pond.
Well, this one requires it like every 6 months because it's a ridiculous thing. I feel like you should just own it and let it go au natural. But anyway, but I'm lazy. So they're doing pond maintenance because that's a great grandma grandson activity.
Cool.
I might have chose to do this somewhere else if I realized that was going to be the afternoon activity, though. So I apologize.
That's where we are.
Yep. I guess this is about us being real, huh? So anyway, I don't have a particular theme, although I did have like a kind of serious mind up yesterday while I was out hiking, which is like on a phone. If you can't walk and type on a phone at the same time, seriously, don't try this at home, kids. But I've become adept at it because I'm a crazy person. So anyway, I did a mind dump of a lot of things I wanted to plan. So I'm hoping to get to that relatively quickly. But other than that, what I want is the stability and maintenance that I promised myself I get from these. And the reason I didn't cut it and instead just like cut out and watch a Star Wars early tonight. So Star Wars will happen tonight. It'll just may not be the whole one.
Yeah.
Because I love watching a Star Wars with my nephew. It's pretty great.
Yes. And someday he will be permitted to watch the prequels.
Are you looking forward to that as somebody a lot younger than me? When he hearing his replay of the prequels?
To be honest, I don't care what your nephew watches as long as he's happy. I just find it so amusing that you have this rule. I completely support it, but I find it so amusing.
He needs to have watched the originals enough. He's old enough now to not just implicitly like worship at the Jar Jar feet. So that's fine. But he now needs to have watched the originals enough times to have the background knowledge to know how little the prequels make sense.
Sure.
So that he can come to that conclusion himself.
Yes. I was not afforded that option.
Right. That is a generational thing.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, that is a total tangent, which we're great at today. We've already proven it. So yeah, that's really my goal is I want to get to some of these bigger picture planning tasks. I'm going to use my iPad paper calendar for that. So I'm going to breeze through these others. I actually really tried to do inbox processing earlier today and I got caught up on the first one so that I could get here. Anyway, so that's my goal.
Same.
Right? It's just one of those days.
Although in fairness, I think I personally got caught up on the same. I actually finished one that was 2 minutes action and then I heard, ah! So.
Yeah, mine was the cry of the beta not making my shortcut work because I thought I could run this shortcut really quickly on this particular item. And then the shortcut.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my beta baby as opposed to my physical actual interrupting baby.
Yes.
But we both chose them. So, you know, it works. All right. So yeah, that's my game plan is I really just want like that mental, emotional stability and self-care that I know comes from making this a sort of sacred space. So
yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're good.
Yeah.
I will pop up the document. So I'm going to go in my normal, like in what has become my normal order, which is like the Brittany version of the David Allen layout.
Yep.
Where I never get to the end because I always burn out. And since you know there's a
Yeah.
Star Wars happening after this, you know I'm not going over time.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, because there's an adorable nephew that will want to watch a Star Wars with me.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. And he is being distracted right now, but you know.
I know it's happening. Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Ready to dig in?
I am.
Me too. Take no prisoners and all that. Why can't you let me find this? I know it's open. I just watched it open. Safari. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yay. All right. I will pull up the timer and we will get started. Even though I know it's actually tiny when it's in the corner of the corner. That's the way this is set up. All right, so I'm getting set up. I won't really need very much setup, but some. my main setup is that whole, if you had seen these before, I do a little gamification thing where I just like to write out what are my inbox starts at the beginning. It feels like a little bit of pregame that kind of makes it a game. I'm going to get through all these things. So I am still in my pregame. For a not sports person, I like the word pregame a lot. I just put it out there. I'm mute still. So the gamification part is taken care of. And I'll just go back into my calendar. Okay, so first thing is clearing my notifications. And it's not like I really allow them to accumulate insanely. I'm actually intensely, if you've not seen the video already, careful with notifications. Something happens by the weekly review where there's just a bunch of stuff that I haven't put my full attention on yet. To really say, is this still something that I feel committed to doing? I would have gotten a microphone if I know. My dryer is on top. Okay. All right, let's see. Not distracting at all. Yeah. Hey, Simply updated their app. Can't hurt. Huh. So the first thing was like an OmniFocus task about prescription refills. So I was like, well, I'll just put in those requests. But a lot of things have happened in the medical world that I don't feel like it's my job to keep up with. You know, my doctor moved and they randomly assign me another one who I've never met before. So I'm just asking a stranger for refill. I don't understand our medical system. And I've got 2 doctors in my family. It's ludicrous. I'm pushing a button and hoping it helps. This is awful. This is not good ADHD management, but it is a hit I'm willing to take for the greater good. I have to stop and think, this shortcut that OmniFocus is reminding me to run, can I run it on my phone? I'm not sure I can. So now I have to open up my iPad. It's just just these little like 2-minute tasks that have built up. You just have to look at them, take a look. They're probably going to be fine, but and this is where you need to be careful. I had a 2-minute task that reminded me of another 2-minute task because, oh, right, that thing needs to be done before this one. And at no point did it organically in my brain make sense to say, oh, make a separate task for that. But now that I'm clearing the decks very consciously, it's like, oh, right, that's a thing that's in the way of this other thing. And I'm using the word thing a lot, which makes me sound intensely inarticulate. I'm pretty sure I actually don't have any pinned messages thread. That for anybody new, that the pinned threads is in iOS 14 and later, you can pin text messages. And that's a way of telling myself, oh, you have an action with this one. But actually, I've been very conscientious this week about, oh, this is there. Do I know what it's there for? I do not. And like 24 hours later, I still didn't know. So I just unpinned it. So okay, I think I'm caught up on that one. Okay. Oh. It's amazing how hard it is to check in with our lists in this conscious way. Yikes. During other times of the week. But I really do think that doing it more regularly builds in the habit, like how I kept my like me being keeping my threads clear, like, oh, I'm gonna have to answer that later. What is that? What does that mean? really can be helpful. Oh. And unfortunately, one of those things, I used to actually have a good routine for like checking on overdue or flagged late tasks more frequently. But gotta face ID this thing. But one, it requires my phone shortcuts to be functioning, and most of them are not. And two, it works better in the winter because I'm more likely to do my, or when it's smoky out, because I'm more likely to do my morning exercise on the elliptical. And then I had this whole shortcut that would run, and like no internal willpower is necessary except to just not shut off the shortcut. Like it's going to prompt me for the next thing and the next thing. And so I could go through more regularly and do that. A lot of things have been off in my life without my shortcuts working. Okay.
Why did it go underground? Found it. It was just like covering the inside of the plug. Yeah, it's going underground. Found the plug. This? What's that? Well, what is that? I'm gonna look for the rock. Stay there for the rock.
Just to give a heads up on some weekend plans.
Not too big. Not too small. Okay. And, okay. Yeah, it has 3 holes. I know.
I muted. Look at me. All my notifications are clear. I didn't have any pinned threads. I even got back to a bunch of people from a thing. I'm impressed. Okay. 10-minute inbox process. Oh gosh, I feel on top of it, but that's a lot of 2-minute actions. I mean, I'm glad because they're off my brain, because that's the whole point, is they're not my mind anymore. And so is Zach. She's coming pretty often. Okay, inbox process, 10 minutes max. Let's go for ideally 7 because that's the work. Probably into my head, but my house keeps doing dumb things, and now is a really, turns out, terrible time to do a whole system reset down, restore. Just turn off my computer and turn it back on again. You know, the thing that fixes all computers for all time. So I've been pretty good about keeping those 2 inboxes pretty clear. So I'm just gonna finish clearing them out. Oh my gosh, this might break my brain. My mouse isn't showing up on the screen. I'm just guessing and checking. Okay, I can run. No, I can't. I can run one of them. I'm coaching somebody tomorrow who frequently cancels at the last minute. So I tend to not run my shortcut to get ready for the meeting until we're a little closer. It's someone with a lot of health issues. The other one I will schedule. That's not what I meant to do. I'm working so hard to not get distracted by the pond conversation happening next to me. Oh, this was a bad call. And the sad thing is it was my idea to say, you know, it'd be great for my nephew is some outside time. And I came up with this project. Okay. Response. Back to the email that's been close to zero.
Over here, where it looks like there's a waterfall.
Okay, I know I am. Oh, I'm gonna give myself a little quick redo because I just finished reading this email and I'll be at literally 0 once I've responded to it. I know I really need to work down that other email account. I have worked on it some, and I got through the worst of this is on my mind as something I feel bad I haven't done yet. So I have taken care of those in that account, just for the cognitive drain. But I like keeping these at least 2 things up for right now. It feels pretty good.
Hey, I found a brick over in the driveway. Okay, give me that. Yep, it's definitely pouring out. I say more cards. Now I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I promise I told him I was live streaming all the words that came out of his mouth. So woohoo. Okay. I know. I totally do cheats. But you know what? I still think it's way better to do like 2 to 4 increment cheats than to just stick at a thing forever when it's not going well. So I can't be too sorry about it. Hopefully you got a stretch if you needed one, if you're going by my timer. Okay. I did do that. I had a pretty good mind dump the other day. If I find myself when I'm looking through these things, just thinking like, okay, what's in my head? And I got to get it out. I will stop and do this empty the head thing. But for now, since I'm in wrap, which is where I wrap up what I was working on and decide what I'm working on next, I'm going to do the quick calendar overview. I think I really struggle with this last 2 weeks thing. I think I need to really, okay, heads up. Sometimes when I say 3 minutes on a thing, what I mean is, I'm trying to tell my brain that it's a small task. If nothing occurs to me, you keep going. It doesn't mean it's not okay. Sometimes, like, okay, for a Google search or something, like that's a maximum that I'm writing down. For something like this, it's a way to tell myself that I don't need to do it for very long, because sometimes I'll get all perfectionisty and get caught up in it, like I'm supposed to be writing down all the things. And no, it's really just I'm looking at the things and literally does anything jump out at me? If I'm watching the days, like, okay, these are the things I had, because sometimes, I mean, as much as I talk about not doing it all the time, occasionally a thing goes on my calendar that was a really good intention that didn't happen. Try not to do that, but I would be lying if I said it never happened. So I'm going in and I'm talking about, like, I'm going in and looking at it like, okay, what might I have left here? Or, okay, I met with this one person. Do I have a follow-up with that? So I'll go through and look for that kind of thing. So the 3 minutes is, hey, if nothing occurs to you, this shouldn't take longer than 3 minutes. Something does occur to me, it's totally okay, because my plan for the rest of this review really is to stop and check in with myself. But excuse me. That's what my plan is. I will highlight that. That's not. Yeah, Google Docs. Okay, so that's gonna work on when I get back. But for now, the be right back sign. There we go. Okay. I'll take my break. Be right back.
going in up there.
Grandma and nephew made these crack-like cookies. Oh my gosh.
That means it's not running. It's trying to suck? Oh no, here, let me try. Look, there's only 3 plugs I can use. Oh, that was the top. There's the
Okay.
top.
Oh my gosh, I'm fighting with this stupid electronics.
One of them is switch, and one of them is not switch.
Oh, they're fighting with the
And I don't know which is switch.
pond fountain.
You have to flip a switch to make it turn on. Not blowing water up there. I think it might be blowing.
You know, it might have been smart.
At the bottom, I did not the top, but maybe.
Moving to a different location.
I'll try to find a switch on the pump. There is one. There is one? No. Is it plugged in or not plugged in? So hold the pump in your hand and see when it starts sucking. It started sucking. Okay,
So
we'll put it back in the water.
I'm going to move on to the last 2 weeks. You know, I didn't know you're doing the pond. Not in time. I'm gonna spare you and put this on mute while I look at the last 2 weeks in my calendar.
Don't push it down there where there's already a whole lot of mud, okay? Push it off the other side. If you go farther, the pump won't take long.
Oh, I thought I was sparing you. Sorry. Don't worry. Don't worry. True to form, I got distracted with stuff in the future. Okay, so looking at something admittedly from today, but it was in the past, reminded me I hadn't responded to somebody about a future appointment. It's just so interesting how much easier it is for my brain to focus on the past than the future than the past. Anyone thinking about doing their own billing, I implore you to reconsider if you have ADHD, because we are just never motivated by the past. Or very rarely. I'm seeing a few like ongoing projects that I could set aside some specific time for again, to continue on with it. I'm not saying a good time to do that, but so close on this one project. It's just, yeah.
Oh, and the pump got what?
Man, if I were taking public transit this weekend for my weekend plans instead of driving, I could get so much stuff done. Sigh.
Okay. It won't really because it will go through it. But let's see how it works. Great. There used to be some kind of a filter that on top of it that screwed onto it, but it must be lost in the bottom of the car.
I always wonder when I should just call it because I'm obviously not engaging in the past very well. But I've seen a few things, that have prompted additional add-ons. Sometimes it's just nice to show me what I've already done. Give me credit for it. Yeah, I totally did that thing. Okay, I'm feeling pretty confident with that, even though it took, oh my goodness, way longer than 2 minutes. It was okay, except some of it I was not as focused as I could have been. We'll try this again. But I feel like I've done a lot with this week, but I'll take a look at it. I mean, worst case Ontario, right? I get back to it. I mean, I do it quickly and I get on to the next thing. Remind me on Friday at 10:30 a.m. to call Derek.
Okay.
Probably about at the end of where we can make this pump work for us. Okay. Did the thing help at all, or did it?
Because I have this serious deadline in 1 week, I'm actually thinking what I might do is try to find the email where I get all the information about the deadline to make sure I've got I know what it's going to look like when I do that. Does the link work and everything?
Walk the boots down to the house. Okay. Do it there, and we'll just see what happens. Grandpa can do it so fast. Yeah. It helps a little.
Huh. Now that there's nobody around. Oh, I took a moment to try to find the information. The information was nowhere to be found. So I had to create a profile to try to figure it out, because what I want to do is, if I can't upload this thing on the deadline, I'd like to know ahead of time how we're supposed to do that. It's just because I didn't get the information doesn't mean I won't be held accountable for it or have repercussions. So I am taking a look at the portal. Let's This is me praying for patience. Despite all of the information that I was sent saying upload it at this link, I got into this portal and it said my slides were overdue because they wanted them uploaded here. But nobody ever said that. They just said, hey, here's this portal. You should log on to it sometime. No deadlines. And here's this other link to upload slides. Okay. I'm going to do this tonight while I watch a Star Wars instead of just snuggling my nephew and watching a Star Wars. It's crushing my poor little soul. But don't worry, the thing I was thinking I needed to submit here, no, it's not here. It's nowhere. I am going to choose to not have an aneurysm, I think. Okay. I know this is done. What I need to do is send an email. I think the important thing is to not cheat too much with your timer, but a little bit is probably normal. That's our whole not understanding time thing. And I would way rather cheat by a few minutes than not do the thing at all. So I wrote the email saying, pretty please, I have deadline. How you want the thing at deadline in 1 week from today. Okay, I did that. Let's go back to the chart. Okay. Wow. That was what I was trying to do in this coming week. And I looked at the deadline in a week and thought, oh, okay, I need that information, which is good. I mean, I feel like there's always more stress coming up on a deadline when we haven't really looked into that type of thing. Like, wait, how am I doing it? Are there any problems there I should foresee? Because, we're not thinking about the last minute. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about, oh crap, I got to finish this thing, and making our last minute compromises on what we thought we were going to do compared to what we actually can do. And mine are less than they used to be, but it's still a thing. Okay. So I'm going to do this when I come back. Look further ahead because I can't find how I submit things. And yeah, I'll try not to take too long on this one because, like I said, I want to keep this one to 2 hours if we can, so I can go watch a Star Wars, even if I have to finish slides while I do it. All right, break. And Good timing. Right as we're supposed to get started. So I'm gonna look at my next 2 weeks. It's not looking like I'm gonna get my bigger calendar stuff planned, but it might be a thing that happens in the morning better. Excuse me. Which probably means I should put it on my calendar for tomorrow to look at. Okay, next 2 weeks. There you do the next week. And again, I'm just looking for stuff that occurs to me. I've started going further into the future than 2 weeks and just sort of glancing through. This really is clearing the decks, not sitting down and project planning. I'm reminding myself, even though that would feel really good. Of confirming that a thing might be happening on a particular date. Ugh. Another thing to verify. Really, with wild abandon, I will put on things in the future and have question marks, so like confirm this. If there's any doubt about it, it goes in to be deleted. Especially if you use a really aggressive booking system like I do. Keeps me out of trouble. Okay. All right. That's pretty far out. I feel like the ADHD conference is always the, this is as far in the future as my brain will go, whenever that is. Okay. Good about that. I've got 10 minutes left. Let's see. What do we got? Love Colleen, and I don't understand how she can interface with that many like words at once and quickly. That I can't read words, but just like it doesn't trigger me to action if there's too many. Neurodiversity is a beautiful thing, right? It means they're all different. Okay, I'm going to open up a document, I think. That's what I thought.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I hit a wall on my planning of projects, and so I switched to a couple of other things that were like really quick, so I didn't highlight them. But yeah.
So you're all tapped out?
I think I am. Yeah. There's
Okay.
one more thing that I'd like to do, which I've left. Yeah, I'm gonna go through my goals that I made in July and sort of look them over. But I'm gonna do that once My toddler is home and asleep.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, I either made peace with the fact that it's not happening today and it'll happen next week, or I did it and I feel good about that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes. I'm very frustrated that I tapped myself out on planning energy because I'd really like to plan, but there's only one project that is in limbo for planning, and I'm okay with that. One is much better than whatever number it was before, which is way too many. Yes.
Nice. Well, I mean, because you were going to go through and do something, right? So
yes,
that's the thing that matters.
I did.
And I was at the point where I was like, oh, I'd really want to do these bigger things, the calendar, but I sort of hadn't gotten there, but I had cleared a lot of decks, which is good.
Awesome.
Whether those two inboxes are still like really maintaining and are at the moment at inbox. I have the others, which are, you know, their whole other thing, but like keeping those two there has been really good.
Yes.
And I got through my my calendar stuff, but then when I got to it, I was like, you know what? I don't have the brain for doing this bigger picture planning that I wanted to do. But I have had it for clearing the decks and like making more realistic calls.
Okay.
Stop and ask ourselves, like with your going through things. So I've been doing a lot of that, but then I was like, okay, I have 15 minutes to do this major planning. No.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not enough time. I don't have the energy for it right now. And so I was going through, I was like, okay, I will look it over and see what's in it. Cause it was mind dump that involved a lot of, or mind sweep. It felt like a dump. Anyway, it involved some planning in it. Anyway, so I was going to just quickly look over it because I really can't get into it right now. Like all the way. I just don't have the time left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, oh, wow, I've got some, which one of these things am I going to do?
Yep.
That I have left because I really can't do the full one I wanted to, but I do feel like I cleared a lot of decks.
Good.
Which I think will be helpful.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of my review stuff lately has just been being honest with myself about what I can and can't do. And that sucks.
Yeah. Ooh, Ozak joined us. I missed you.
Hey!
Maybe not interfacing with all the words at the same time. Oh, I was talking about how our two lists look next to each other. Like you have a whole bunch of words. And I'm like, that does not, like, I can't look at that and be like, oh, I'm going to go act on that big block of words right now. And
well, so in fairness, that was my notes for giving the presentation before, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. Anyway, so they said maybe not interfacing with all the words at the same time. And also I like the idea of if I had more time, I could have written a shorter letter, which we have discussed before.
Yeah.
That's always true for me. Yep. So yeah, I'm sort of sitting here going, okay, I think I could look over this list, but I couldn't really get into it. So I wasn't even sure if maybe I should do a project review or something instead for just a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, if you choose to do that, I wish you good luck. I am off to find out what my toddler is about.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
A victory?
What?
Overall a victory?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Anytime I sit down to do this, it's a victory automatically. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's not quite as clear as it was last week. I think I have a lot of projects.
It's really tiring this week though, so things aren't clear when you're tired.
Yeah. It's 8 p.m. where I am. I've been awake since 5:30.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair. As I also said, relatedly, truth is like poetry, and most people dislike poetry. I I actually think I'm better on truth than poetry. So
Depending on the kind of poetry. I like poetry that rhymes 'cause I have autism. If it doesn't rhyme, it's not poetry. Rules. There must be rigidly defined rules.
the rules.
The
Anyway,
rules. I don't make the rules. Obscure joke that 3 people know. 3 people know. All right.
so yeah, that's and I just we're all our own people with poetry. Okay, so you're gonna head off and
Yep.
hopefully I don't get text from you past 10 p.m. your time. Because you're gonna get some sleep and junk.
Sleep. Sure, yeah. But see, the thing my brain automatically said is, oh, past 10 p.m. If you want to text Brittany, put it in your task management and send it to her later. So.
Well, there's that. No, because I'll be on do not
Don't
disturb.
disturb. So it doesn't matter. I know. My brain's like, but shifty eyes, hide the fact. No. Yeah, I'll be getting sleep. I will.
Yeah.
When I went to the bathroom earlier, you probably didn't know, but I did, and I brushed my teeth at the same time. So I am like
Ready to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I am given to understand that somebody is making pizza for us to consume before watching a Star Wars.
I don't know of many offers better than pizza that had been recently made and then Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Okay. I hope you have a great time. Tell Theo I said hi.
I will.
Okay.
They might be gone before. Anyway, yes, I will tell him you said hi. Apparently, I have no filter because the clock hit 5 p.m.
Yep. Accurate.
That's how that works. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, I think I am just so I don't feel like I cut myself short because I usually pause it while she leaves, but just so I don't feel like I'm cutting myself short. And yes, yay teeth. I was like, I am going to just review a couple of quick projects. I don't know if I've even done one of these on the live stream before, if I've just been doing it like piecemeal on my own. Do a couple of those, and then it'll feel like I didn't just end because I didn't feel like doing something else, which is currently how it feels. Or I didn't have time to do it, so we just did nothing, and that feels grosser. Also, pizza's not ready yet anyway, so I don't actually need to get off yet. Star Wars can't happen without pizza. So yeah, I am going to review a couple projects in OmniFocus, just, clear them off, mark them as red, and then red. That's what it looks like. It's got a dot and stuff, but it's reviewed. Anyway, so I'm going to do that on a couple of them, and then we'll log off for the night. And we're going to keep trying this time for a while. So until we say otherwise, it'll be next Wednesday again. So I will get into, and when I want a quick win, one of those big projects is not the way to go. You're getting tired, but I'm like, what of this can I even interface with? Okay, here's a for fun one. I know I shouldn't be just selecting these, but it's actually not terrible. Oh. I just heard the kitchen timer go off. That means pizza soon. I'm also selectively doing some that I'm like, ooh, I actually have to act on this soon. I should freshen it up for me, which is really what the review's supposed to do, is refresh it for you. Okay. I think I actually want to give this a defer date. Actually. Okay, this task in here doesn't even make any sense. So I'm gonna be really brave and delete it, even though sometimes it's very scary to delete tasks that are in there that you don't really remember all the details about when you put them in. I don't know. Somebody's just easy to refer to old me. Should know what she's talking about. Oh, the pizza making person is a good match for you. Oh, thank you. It's actually my nephew making pizza right now. My but my husband's going to be over soon to, because I've been working at the place I was hunkering still, because I don't want to work at my new place. So yeah, he does make me pizza sometimes though, and he is awesome. But today my nephew is making pizza with much help from grandma, and then he's gonna come over. We're gonna all watch Star Wars. It's great because my nephew is not familiar. Okay, I'm gonna not get distracted talking about Star Wars. It's still new for him, even though he's seen the originals, and that makes it extra fun. Hey, you don't belong in here either. That's basically it. Okay, I'll add a task to at this point, no more filming is happening on that project. Nope. That's wrap. pretty good about that. Updated project. Go me. I'm gonna check it off on a big old document. What do you think it's down here? Yes. Even though theoretically I should be doing these way more regularly than I did that. So there you go. Okay, so I feel pretty good about that. I don't have a lot to wrap because, well, I'm not coming back to this today. But I do. Cookies eating person. Yes, thank you, Ozak. So I feel pretty good. You know, you never do as much as you want, and that's okay. But I think I am feeling way better than I was at the beginning, which is really a huge victory if you think about it. That I did more work at the end of the day instead of curling up a ball and sleeping like I wanted to. So yeah, again, I think it was good. I think that the reviews are good. I actually also deleted some things off my calendar that have been repeating tasks that were relevant and have been increasingly less relevant. And so I got rid of them until such time comes that I deem them relevant again. Sort of make a cleaner calendar. Yeah, I feel really good about it. So hopefully you got something out of this too and are feeling a little bit good about it. Feel free to tell me about it because it's interesting and it's nice to know if we're doing things that are helpful. Yeah, let me know how it went. Hopefully you got some good stuff done too. And